So I just got done re-experiencing the legend, the the all-time classic, the greatest video game series of all time, Mass Effect, the original, and of course, I fucking hate this thing. Mass Effect is one of the most overrated franchises, I think, of the last decade, right? I guess I suppose 2 decades ago now. It's the first one is over 10 years old, but the third one came out like 2012, 2013. So it's been out for a while, but for a long time, like Mass Effect was promoted as being like one of the all-time great video game franchises. Not even like one of the all-time greatest video game franchises, but some of the best pieces of science fiction ever made, right? You had this sprawling space opera epic about your character going on this adventure to deal with these alien species and deal with these political situations and do all this stuff. Like it was the narrative was always that Mass Effect was one of the most complex, deep, hard hitting pieces of sci-fi ever, and I remember buying this for the PS3 when they re-released the entire collection in 2013 or so. Like I think I bought it for like $40, the entire series, and I never got through game one. One of the most overhyped game experiences of my life. I cannot even begin to tell you how disappointed I was in the Mass Effect series. I was disappointed with the storylines, the characters, the setting, the combat. Like nothing about Mass Effect was really all that interesting, innovative, or new even. And as a Nintendo fan, someone who had long ago played games like Metroid Prime, like F-Zero, like Star Fox, like Mass Effect felt like a step down in a lot of ways. Like your choices did not matter in Mass Effect, even from the get go. Like again, you saw this on stream. Well, if you watched the stream, you saw this of me just dicking around with my Samus Aran Shepard character, just uh, just going through the motions. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, people treat you the same way. Like maybe you'll change one random minor instance, but for the most part, like the game is a very linear, very close-ended experience. Like no matter what you do, people are always going to react the same way, and I always see fans try to justify it as being like there being some great conspiracy, like the council always does that because they just hate humans that much, but no, it's just poor writing, and I was aghast playing through this again, how bad the writing for this is. Like you're on a battlefield having these long, elaborate conversations about what this guy was doing during these events. You have these situations, very forced political dramas. Like you have all this stuff that just does not work. Like like this is the greatest piece of sci-fi ever made, and I think it was outdone without even really trying, really, by the Metroid Prime games, because the Metroid Prime games did have better storylines. They did have better gameplay. They did have better build up. They had better momentum. Like just compare the opening to Mass Effect to the opening of Prime 3. Like the difference in quality there, or Prime 2 even, right? The difference in quality there is just staggering, right? Like in Prime 3, you have this entire planet under siege by the space pirate. Like they have like, I don't know, they're sending down like a meteorite phase, right? Like they're sending something down on you. You're fighting them. You're working together with all these other bounty hunters. They're doing all this stuff. You're fighting all these people. You're getting to know these things. Like the buildup is so much better. Like there's so much better payoff, and it leads eventually to better and better things, right? And Mass Effect, you don't really do that, right? They try and fail to exposit about everything. They try to get you interested in like the history of the world and like the Protheans and like the specters, and it's stupid. You know what I mean? It's not very well handled at all. And playing through it again years later, I hate this game more than when I played it the first time because I know it better. I feel like I understand it. I understand the developers, the mindset they were in. I understand understand like what the game is. And much like The Last of Us, much like that game, without the media hype around it, the Mass Effect series doesn't really have a lot going for it because there are so many other better science fiction games out there that I don't think Mass Effect can ever really compete. And the narrative I'm hearing right now from like longtime BioWare fanboys is that Mass Effect is good. Like the original Mass Effect is good. They just got worse as the games go on. But I don't really see it because being someone who's recently played stuff like older BioWare games like Knights of the Old Republic, like I greatly preferred that over what Mass Effect tried to do. Like nothing about nothing about what Mass Effect did felt all that interesting or unique or exciting. Like it was just the games were already getting worse by that point in time, which is again similar to like the pattern we've seen with other video game franchises, right? Like Final Fantasy, like these companies do decline. They make one really good game and then they just get worse and worse and worse until they go bankrupt. Like we've seen this with like Visceral, we've seen this with like a lot of companies, right? Metal Gear, like Konami, like there's a lot. Like this is not some unforeseen circumstance, right? But um, playing Mass Effect again, I don't intend to return to it. Like the main reason I went back and did it was because like I was streaming, I was playing games, I was enjoying myself, and I thought like maybe I could just do a quick riff on Mass Effect, and it was a great time. I really enjoyed it. Like making fun of this terrible Western RPG for you guys was a delight. I love doing it. I love making fun of this. I won't play through the entire thing because really a couple of hours is all you need to really just establish that the setting isn't all that well put together and the gameplay isn't that good. That's really all you need. But in the end, Mass Effect is not a very good video game.